Hi everyone, it's Theresa with this week's angel reading, and this week the angels are speaking with us about focus. It's really important in these times for us, the Lightworkers, to stay focused. And what they're meaning by that is that there's so much going on in the world that can distract us, that can make us upset, that can lower our vibration when we get stuck in the loop of our energy being caught up in it. So for a lot of light workers, I've heard over the years, oh, I can't watch the news. I can't know what's going on in the world. It upsets me too much. It affects my energy. And this is no longer the time for that. This is absolutely the time where light workers need to know what is going on in the world, because that is how we know where our love, where our attention and focus needs to be sent. So by attention and focus, I am not speaking about the tendency for a lot of us to get caught up and wrapped up in the story. So there are some of us who can't leave the computer, who can't leave the TV until we just have to see what's going on with certain things every moment of every day. Or we have to keep checking back on certain stories to see what's going on. And it starts to affect our energy. Our energy kind of gets intertwined with that particular story, and it starts to decrease the amount of energy that we have available. Our reserves sort of become depleted, and that is what the angels want to talk to us about. It is not the time for that. It is the time for knowing what's going on in the world and experiencing what's going on in our personal worlds, but also with the intention of, okay, this is what's happening. I'm going to send love, I'm going to pray, I'm going to send light. However it is that you work, and you work with your angels or you work in your own spiritual practice, is the way to go here. So many of us are finding it really hard to do that because we can't separate ourselves from the reporting of certain stories. And if you're feeling called to an event, like if Syria is your passion, or if child abuse is your passion, or if women's rights is your passion, it doesn't mean that you need to only send love and sit back and watch what happens. You can get involved. But what the angels are saying is what happens when your intention is to hold your center and hold your presence. The guidance will come for what your next step is in terms of moving forward with helping this particular cause. And so many of us are caught up in, oh, I have to take an action, and we're going to work with this organization, and we're doing this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this. And it's not really the most efficient use of our time and energy, because what ends up happening is we just scatter our energy all over the place and it's not focused. So when we can stay balanced and centered and listen for guidance, it keeps us focused. We have our energy all going into one direction and we can use it more efficiently. Our angels want to remind us that our main job here is to keep our sights, our hearts, and our vision focused on the world as we want to see it, the world as we know it should and could be. And when we get wrapped up in the energy of everything that's going on, we kind of lose that focus and we're not able to maintain that vibration of visualizing the world in that way. And our biggest job right now is to visualize the world that we want so that we can take the steps to create it. If we are so wrapped up in visualizing the world the way we see it because this event happened or that event happened, that is where our energy is going. We're putting our energy into creating a world that is affected very deeply and scarred by that event. So again, there's a very fine line here about knowing what's going on in the world, taking the aligned actions to make those situations better as our inner guidance, as our angelic guidance, as our divine guidance guides us to, but also holding our center and keeping our vision, our inner vision, our heart's vision set on the world that we know it's possible to create, the world that we know actually exists underneath all of the illusion of what it is that's going on. Underneath everything, we all know love is the only thing that exists. So when we get wrapped up in the fear energy, it takes away from that energy of love. Remember that love is the strongest force in the universe, and love can get us through anything. And that is the angel's biggest message for us today. But it's a very, very important reading. And so I'm calling you to action from the angels today to stay rooted in love, to hold the vision of the world you know is possible, the world that is being created, even though there are situations that make it look completely the opposite. Send your love to those situations, send your prayers to those situations, and take the aligned actions to make those situations better as you feel called to individually. Don't go running yourself ragged. Make sure that you are recharging yourself, because what happens within happens for the world. So if we are making sure that we're charged and that we are centered, then we can ripple that energy out into the world, as opposed to the energy of exhaustion, the energy of fear, the energy of overwhelm, depression, scatteredness. So it's really important that you take this week's reading and you put it into action immediately. This is absolutely a call to action. So please feel free to share this video if this resonated for you. It's really important that all of the Lightworkers start to gather in community and hold our center so that we can create the world that we know exists. So if you've enjoyed this reading and you want to be sure that you get every week's reading, please click the link below. You'll be taken to my website where you can sign up to receive these readings in your inbox every single week, so that you'll never miss one, you'll never have to hunt for it, you'll know exactly where it is every Monday. I hope that you have a beautiful week, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.